All right, hi. Welcome back to a brand new video of the Target Individual Program, Targeted Experience. So here's, I just called Pam to speak to Ethan because his phone is off again. So I have not been speaking to him all day, right? Him, and Alyssa. So I can't even, you know. So she goes to him, and she's like, he found his phone, and I told her earlier, have him put his phone on the charger. This was like about a good, maybe, what time is it now? It's 10. So it was about 4 o'clock, almost 7 hours ago. Okay. And I'm like, listen, why is it that, I mean, when I put my phone in the charge is on. Who really turns off the, but for whatever reason, again, because they know how I am, right? You know, as a father, I speak to my kids. I mean, I spend a lot of time with them. Unlike these women who can leave their kids and go for a week and not speak to their kids. Okay, I'm not like that. All right, and I might go for a day or two without speaking to them, but not because I didn't want to, because I've been calling, and like the situation that's happening now for the past couple of days. All right, so she calls me back instead of going to him and have him turn his phone on, right, so that I can speak to him and call him from his phone, call me from his phone, or I can call him on his phone, through his phone, or from my phone to his phone. She decides well, you know what? Well, I'll just let you talk to him on my phone. And I'm like, why? What's wrong with his phone? She's like, well, I took it off the charger. It was at 18%, and it wasn't working. And I'm just like, that makes no damn sense. Because I've spoken to Ethan many times. I said, listen, when you first of all, I said, stop letting your phone battery go down to it die down and where your phone shuts off, because what you are doing, you are shortening the life of your phone battery. Okay. So like I said, they always have these angles that they will use and they will play and they will do, right, in order to, because again, they don't want me to care about my kids, right? So they'll use things like I say, f them kids, right? Because that's what they would do. That's what they want to do. I send them off to their grandparents. I don't want to take care of them. You know, it's always interesting that these women, when they get pregnant by a man, and the man like, listen, I'm not ready for kids. Okay, and some men will just leave them and go. Right, but other men, such as myself, we may be, because again, we always tell them, hey, listen, I'm not ready to have kids until I'm married. Right, yeah, and again, because of how we operate, of our conditioning, right, we're not using protection, right, and one thing I have to teach my daughters that, listen, you cannot always rely on men to use protection. You have to protect your own self, right? If you get to the age where you are having sexual intercourse, you need to get on birth control, right? No unplanned, unwanted pregnancy. But when you look in the household where you have black women raising daughters as well as sons, they're not teaching their daughters that. They're not asking their daughters, are you sexually active? And if the daughter answer them honestly, hopefully they, but most of the time they're not, right? You again, take them to the pediatrician, right? If they're a teen, they're still a child, take them to the pediatrician, right? Get them, if they don't have, get them on birth control. Teach them about sexual health. Be honest with them. Don't let them make the same mistakes that you made, right? At least if you did your best to not let them make the same mistake and they did it, it is what it is. But you cannot grow children to be ignorant of certain things, particularly our daughters, because they're the ones that have to carry a child for 9 months, not the boy or the man, right? It is the young girls and the women. They're the ones that have to get that carries that child, and it changes their body, it changes their chemistry, their psychology. Okay, so again, when again we need to do a better job when it comes to that with our kids. But anyhow, I digress. Let me get back to what I was saying. Right? So I'm thinking to myself, it makes no sense. You telling me that you took the phone off the charger and it wasn't working. It stuck at 18%. It wasn't working. How do you know it wasn't working? If his phone was off, his phone was off. But again, this is what they do, right? To see my cognitive, if I can remember certain stuff. Yeah, I remember that. I speak to my damn kids all the time. I go to this thing all the time, right? So of course I'm going to remember this shit, right? And again, like I tell you, this is what they do: the manipulation and tactics, the methods to escape accountability. And like I said, I don't have to pretend. Okay, those articles I read, ask me if I remember 10 things out of those articles that I read. I couldn't tell you. Okay, I couldn't tell you. I know what it was about. Okay, but this is what they do. They're all involved. Like I said, it is Zoom. And how I know they're involved, because of Zoom. It was a program run by the Stasi's, right? The German secret police in East Germany in the 70s and 80s. And you don't think that the same shit is not happening here in the US, in America? In Europe, they have to pass laws against these things. But they're not going to pass these laws here because what? The religious factor. Okay? To hide the use of classified technology based on the electromagnetic spectrum to manipulate our minds, and also the illegal implantation of microchips. So they have to villainize you, label you, in order for them to get away with doing what they're doing. So they'll put the claim, oh, public safety, right? But they're not tell you that they're engaging in covert warfare, right? They're not tell you that they're engaging in honey traps and all of the things that the FBI, the CIA use in their operations. They have taught it to racist police officers. They have taught, because again, this goes back from the 80s, and how they are able to manipulate people, particularly young black men and black boys, into confessing to crimes that they didn't commit. Okay? There's so many studies on this stuff. But again, us in the black community, because we're believers, we don't think that people can confess the crimes they didn't commit, even though we see it all the time. We hear about it all the time. The use of torture, the use of psychological manipulation, right? The use of planting evidence, the use of paying people to lie, snitches to lie. The FBI has a whole documented history of snitches, and some of them make over $1 million to do what? To lie. It's all documented. And what have they done? They have transferred that mentality onto us, and particularly our women. And like I said, I can't blame us totally, because I know what's being done. And like I said, they always send me this message, oh, well, no one's going to believe you anyway. Right? If you're going to keep telling them, oh, it's God. When the CIA and the Department of Defense developed these weapons, one of the first ones that they developed, what did they call it? They call it the voice of God. Why did they call it the voice of God? Because if it's hidden from us, we don't know about it, we're thinking we're hearing God. This is why you see the majority of black people talking about, oh, God spoke to me. Oh, I had a God spoke to me in a dream and this and that, and reveal. God didn't reveal his shit to you. Your very own Bible tell you that shit. You're not a prophet, right? You're not one of God's prophet. Go and read your. I swear, it's like these Christians, they don't even read their damn Bible. They just make up shit because you know what? It sounds good. It feeds into their delusion, right? It feeds into their communal aspect with each other when they attend church and they go this and this and that. But your Bible tells you that God do not speak to you anymore. But we as black people, we all about tradition, right? We all about feel good time. You know, we're easily bored. And like I said, a lot of these pastors that own these big churches, you see how much money they brought in, right? Like in the article I right? The black church bring in over $11 billion a year, and they do nothing with that money except put it in their pockets or build bigger churches. They don't do nothing for the black community. You will have big churches in poor communities, rundown buildings, and they not once do these pastors think about buying up these properties, right? Creating jobs. No, because their purpose is to take from you. That's their purpose. It's to take money from you. And you don't ask for receipt. You don't ask to see what they do with that money. But the next month you see them driving a brand new Benz. Pastor and his wife. His kids going to the most expensive private school while yours going to public school getting a shitty education. And you don't say nothing. Okay, what they've done is called cognitive warfare, and religion is a big aspect of it. The very own Bible tell you that when Paul was talking in Athens, what did he say? What did he told the people? He said, "You have become too superstitious. You have become too religious." Back then, people were not religious. Religion was a new thing that was coming. It was an offshoot within Christianity, because what they did is to not only was the deify of the so-called Yeshua, right? They deify him just like Rome would deify its emperors. You need to go and read the works of Flavius Josephus, right? During the Jewish wars. There was no man walking around talking about gifts render unto see what is Caesar. When you read what happened then, you read about the brutality, the beheadings, all these things that was taking place. And Christian was never really persecuted for being Christians. Again, history is written. The records are written. It's there. But because we're too damn ignorant and too stupid, because religion has got us thinking that if we to run away from the truth because our soul is going to go to hell. It's a con game. Right? The Romans created this religion. Paul was an infiltrator for the Romans to steer the people away from the rebellions, because the Judeans were rebelling against Rome. Because why? Because they had the Torah. They had the Torah, and Rome wanted them to worship Caesar as God. Okay? But in their belief system, the Messiah is not a deified person. The Messiah is a man who is going to raise an army and fight the oppressors. And who were the oppressors at that time? It was Rome. Okay? And the people read Revelation, they don't even understand what's going on in Revelation. They talk about the mark of the beast. Go and read about Emperor Nero, who set Rome ablaze and then tried to blame the Jews. They were talking about Emperor Nero as the Antichrist. It is documented. It is written. And again, the Bible that you use today was created by King James, the Catholic Church. So if you want to really understand the interpretation of the Bible, don't try to input your own interpretation. You go to the Catholic Church, you go to the priest, and he's going to interpret to you, because that is their book. No matter how many times you change it, even the Bible tells you not to change these words, but they keep changing it every single revision. So how could your book be holy? How could your book be holy and the perfect word of God if they keep changing it? Okay, I can get you all versions of the Bible, and most of them will have changes that don't match with the other ones. The Bible is the only book in which they do that. They don't do that with the Quran. They don't do it with the Surah. They don't do it with the Torah. They don't do that at all. Only in Christianity. It's the reason why you have over 4,000 denominations of Christianity. And that alone should tell you that something is wrong, that you're being misled. Anyhow, I'll talk to you guys in the next video.